Hello. Happy birthday month, Boo. This is gift number 6. It's the last one I'm going to be able to do before I leave, and it's going to be like 7 minutes long. And promise, look at all this. I have to cover all of these, so it's a promise for the future. We're going to continue doing all this stuff forever now. So I'm happy with what I have so far. So this has to do with this whole one is redheads, family court swamp, boost security going forward, having to do with the infantophile, family court, pedophile, this kind of stuff, swamp, and boost security. So the last comment I posted here had to do with, hey Boo, just woke up not too long ago, so getting this rom-com birthday gift to you on time is not happening for the April 24th. I once again bit off more than I can chew. Is okay. I work one more night tonight. That was last Thursday, or last Saturday. Then 4 days off when I will have plenty of time to do this right, instead of rushing it, not doing it right, and not enjoying myself in the process. So I was able to do a little bit more on the rom-com list and complete it, but I didn't complete it. Okay. I might do one quick do not poo-poo this security alert before I post any videos about the rom-com list. It's about your most recent Kelly's 12 playlist on songs from movie soundtracks. I get the feeling every song on that list comes from a movie that turns out, not coincidentally, to be a major smoke fest. If so, the do not poo-poo this list is going up, and better believe it is going to highlight the person at SiriusXM who allowed JD Palmatier access to you recently as a major security threat. Hang in there, Boo, onward. So I'm just going to very briefly show you what I got out of that and when I looked into it. So let's just do that fine. And then one reason I was putting off doing this is I didn't want it to be negative, but it is more positive in that what I hate doing is putting up a do not poo-poo this, and it's a little too vague, and I don't have recommendations for my Boo. Okay, and I have a couple of recommendations, and I have 4 minutes to do it. So that's there, and we're going to say goodbye to this. Okay, it doesn't matter. So this is what I'm talking about when I talked about JD Palmatier recently. There was so I'm most worried about Tobacco Swamp, and last July I had a big fit over JD Palmatier and BMD. There's another guy. There's two of them. I had a fit because they were Tobacco Swamp people from way back. I didn't trust them. I thought that if there was going to be some kind of a shooting or some kind of weird violence, it's going to involve these guys. Not necessarily they're doing it, but they might be a patsy. But I get the feeling that their employers were Tobacco Swamp people like Marlboro. Now I'm pretty sure their employers are even worse. Their employers are infantophiles who like to keep tabs on the eggs of celebrities that could produce redheaded children. All right. So does that make them dangerous? No, but I just, I'll tell you a little bit more when I get into it. So that's her. Just recently on February 23rd at SiriusXM Radio. This is when Kelly was there promoting The View, which is NBC. So I have problems with NBC being Tobacco Swamp and Boo Security, Kelly's security concerning people at NBC giving access to Kelly to various people that they're not screening properly, I believe. Same with SiriusXM, and I think they have too much Tobacco Swamp influence. Now SiriusXM has, and then there's the second guy I'm having a fit about. His name is BMD7722, and I have a fit about him gaining access as well. And so right after I put up this whole thing, I torpedoed my account over this whole thing, over the Las Vegas thing. I'm saying keep her away from these guys, and it's kind of hard to do that. I understand that, baby girl, and I'll try to give you some better advice. Okay, but it was these two, and then right after I do that, here's a picture of her, and in September, he's at the very first showing. And here's a picture of her at XM Radio again. So this is what they do. They go around and they post these pictures. So I've always had problems a little bit with Kelly's 12 at SiriusXM because I will find some tobacco references in them in the past, not recently. But this one, I said, oh, this one, Whitney Houston was the last one, I Will Always Love You. I just go through the whole 12 every month and try to find stuff, and there isn't too much. But this one, like, for sure, I know that I Will Always Love You, the movie The Bodyguard, was a huge tobacco thing. The song, everything was Tobacco Swamp Heaven because Whitney Houston smoking a cigarette in it. Okay, this is huge, a big tobacco advertisement. So I went through all the movies as I promised, and it turns out Kelly, just so you know, you might not be aware, but every one of them is pretty much a smoke fest. I would say 7 out of the 12 were smoke fests. The other one had cigarette smoking in it, except for one, which was Cornfield Chase, which is not even a song, it's an instrumental from the movie Interstellar. So I said, what the hell's going on? Why is Interstellar the only one that doesn't have smoking in it? So I checked out Interstellar, and it turns out that Interstellar is, it stars Matthew McConaughey, who worked with that, it stars Matthew McConaughey that I associate with the Tobacco Swamp as being behind the Uvalde shooting, the school shooting. Okay, this is going to be later, actually. So, and it stars Jessica Chastain. She's another redheaded person that, guess what? Where is it now? Is it this one? Where are you, babies? So it stars Jessica Chastain, whom J.D. Palmatier has been assigned to follow. She is a natural redhead, blue-eyed person, and they just want her eggs is all. So it is a full circle, but I have to go, baby girl, and I have a whole redheaded thing going on here. But this is J.D. Palmatier with Jessica Chastain. They're promoting Jessica Chastain. She's coming out with something called The Savant, which is about me. It's hilarious. It's about me. It's about this person who tries to thwart threats online, and she goes by just her feelings, and she throws her kids under the bus, not on purpose, but it just happens to be, and it's about me. But as with everything else that I described before, they're trying to do a fact and make it interesting, and then they go off and do a kind of a hate Trump thing. And she would advertise it as, there's so many school shootings, and there's this and that, and it's just like, and January 6th, and then they just canned it. They can't afford this anymore. Nobody's doing this shit anymore. So now they are coming out with it in July, except now she's advertising, there's a lot of school shootings, but there's also assassinations against Trump. Like she's being a little bit less woke about it, and they're going to try to spin it that way. But it is pretty good, but it just feels very wokish. But they're promoting that, so she's had her eggs taken because she's had surrogate kids, so they have her eggs, and they're trying to promote because there's a whole other thing going on where the selling of celebrity eggs, especially of redheaded, blue-eyed. She's redheaded, blue-eyed. They have her eggs. They're trying to promote her because that increases the prices of her eggs that they're selling without her knowledge or consent. And I'm going to go into that a lot more. But J.D. Palmatier is a part of this. This is her back in 2017, right after Interstellar came out. So if you look at Jessica Chastain, she has an interesting history too. She won an Oscar for the Tammy Faye Baker story, which is a gay man, Jim Baker, having an affair with Jessica Hahn, who's a trans woman. Okay, I do all that. And then her next movie was The Good Nurse, which is a gay man, a gay male nurse killing everybody. And I thought the woman who reported it as the big hero, I thought that was a trans woman as well. But here was in 2001 or whatever. Oh, and by the way, Jessica Chastain smoked in the Tammy Faye Baker story and won the Oscar for it. When Tammy Faye Baker, she died of cancer, lung cancer, but she never smoked. So that was another tobacco ad. Anyway, she's a very tobacco family court. She smokes in a lot of movies, and the other movie that I'm talking about, The Good Nurse, is like, oh yeah, don't worry about it, everybody. We caught the one nurse. Every single male nurse is killing people like crazy. That was the whole fake pandemic. So this is another example for Whitney Cummings. Is like they did a whole movie on this. Yeah, we caught him. We caught the one. When every nurse is killing people, just keep the nurses away. So the basic thing is what's going on with this J.D. Palmatier and why I didn't trust this. Yes, I'm not going to put up a do not poo-poo this, but how do you handle this? I think what bothered me, and I'm going to go into way more on the next thing when I do the Trump thing. It's all redheaded stuff, and you'll see me do a connection. I'm sorry I didn't get to the actual connection. I gotta go, baby. But this is what bothers me. A while ago, I said if there's going to be a shooting, they can't do mass shootings anymore. It's going to be a one-on-one or a smaller thing, a smaller number of people in a closed area. And I said to Kelly, do not go to any kind of meetings in an office like at NBC Universal or don't go to any executive meetings in a closed area, because that's where there'll be a shooting, like by a handgun. There's very many executives that are disgruntled right now, very disgruntled because the swamps are all. And there's a 1% chance of all celebrities being killed over the next year or whatever. That's way too high. And if they are killed, I'm saying in your case, it's like a 30% chance it's going to be a shooting at an executive's office. So I said, please just do Zoom as much as you can. Okay, and then the other thing I said is, please don't do any fan meet and greets at all. But if you can avoid it, I'm telling you now, please do it at the venue. Don't meet anybody, and don't meet any fans at all, at least until after the next elections or for a year, if you can avoid it. And if you do, don't meet. So here you are, you're meeting a fan in an office. Is like the double thing. Just don't do that. And I think it's an office space, and any celebrities going through SiriusXM, do not meet with fans at anywhere SiriusXM in. It's a very high risk, okay? So go ahead and keep meeting J.D. Palmatier if you're in Vegas. I would suggest not to, but do it in that setting. Don't do it in an office setting, because it's a double thing. That's what I'm subconsciously saying. And it was the same with this guy, okay? So this really, again, you're in the office. I think this is in like the lobby or something, but it's at, I think it's 30 Rock, okay? Don't go to any meetings at 30 Rock. Try to Zoom call them, okay? And don't meet fans. And here you are meeting a fan at 30 Rock, okay? So just don't do those two things. That's my advice, please. And you can take that advice or not. And that's my suggestion. And that's what's driving me crazy about this. So meet the fan. I mean, if you can do it so you're not doing any meet and greets, that would be great. Or if you could do it so you're not doing anything in any offices at these places, that would be great. But you're combining the two in these two things. That's driving me crazy. Bye. Gotta go. I love you. Oh my God, I'm gonna be late. Living my best life. Everything's gonna be okay. It's a good day for a great day. Onward, Christian soldiers who aren't Christian anymore, and Godspeed to everybody coming out the other end. And when peace, P-I-E-C-E and P-E-A-C, there is a whole other couple-hour video going on concerning a lot of way more stuff. But this is it. And I'm very happy with my bones. The bones are good. The rest don't matter. Okay, bye. I'll do a Nicole Leoki, actually. That was the Nicole Leoki. Okay, gift number 6 out the window. Bye.